Hey there, this is Ed Herzog with Online Growth Tools, and what I want to talk about today is the paid version of Elementor and whether or not it's worth buying it. Is it worth upgrading from the free version of Elementor and going for the pro version? It's a question I see a lot in the official Elementor Facebook group. You know, people are using the free version, they're happy with it, but they're wondering, should I upgrade? Is it worth it? Is it worth going to paid Elementor? So this video is really for people who are already using Elementor or familiar with it. If you're not using Elementor, then I suggest before you watch this video to download the free version, to take a look at it, and if it's something you like, to come back here and this video can hopefully help you decide whether or not you want to upgrade to the paid version. Okay? Now before I get into whether or not it's worth it, I want to give you a bit about my background. I'm not a professional web designer. I design websites for myself, I design them for my wife, and occasionally for a friend. Okay, so I don't have the unlimited pro license, or I guess it's now limited to 1,000 sites. I've got a different license, so that means some of the websites that I design are indeed in the pro version. Others are in the free version. So, I've learned a bit about the advantages and the disadvantages of the pro version versus the free version. Okay, so I'm going to switch over. I want to share my screen now, so give me a second here. And let me come over here. Okay, so if you look on the Elementor website, either here on this website, which is a pro versus a free, where they give a long list of the different features of the pro version, or on here on the pricing page where they give a much more concise version, you'll get a long list of the features that you get. And again, if you're thinking about upgrading to the pro version, you've probably looked at this, right? You probably have an idea of what pro can do, what the features are, but you obviously haven't made that leap yet, right? There's something that's holding you back. So I don't really want to focus so much on the features of this video. What I want to do is I want to focus on what are the benefits of those features. How do you gain by having all these features that they outline here? So first of all, I want to say, there may be some situations where it's absolutely essential that you upgrade depending on the type of website that you're trying to design. A lot of the features of Pro you can do other ways. I mean, that's what holds people back, right? They say, well, I've got other plugins that do this thing, and so why do I really need this feature, right? Why do I need this if they're free plugins or if there's a different paid plugin that can do this for me, that I've already bought? Why buy Pro, right? But there might be some things, right, where Pro is the only way to go. For example, they've got really good integration with e-commerce, particularly with WooCommerce. I'm not 100% sure because I don't do WooCommerce, but I believe if WooCommerce is something you do, then Elementor Pro is probably something you need. The same thing for something like pods or advanced custom fields. I think, again, I don't use those things personally, but I believe that for something like that, you do need to upgrade to Pro if those are features you want to use pods or advanced custom fields. But beyond that, you've got all these other features, and you're probably wondering, well, again, are they essential? What if I've got something else? Would I find a free tool? So let me show you what happens when you rely. Oops, wrong. Where did I want to go here? I want to go over here. Here's a website that I designed using Elementor Free. Okay, you see here it has a form on it. Now in the paid version you get a form widget, but because this is a free version I couldn't use that. So I had to go into the WordPress repository, the plugin repository, search through the plugins. I looked at about 5 different ones, tested them, examined them, looked for one that was easy for me to set up, that I could design the way I wanted to design it. It took me about an hour of my time. If I had another license of Elementor Pro, I could have done this form in 10 or 15 minutes. So I wasted nearly an hour of time setting this form up because I didn't have another license of Pro to use on this particular website. So that's one of the things, that's one of the benefits of Pro. You get more things, you get more widgets, right? You don't have to rely on a third party to give you something that's in Elementor Pro. You save time and you save money, right? Time is money. So, that's one of the things to think about. Do you want to save time? Do you want to save money? Or do you want to waste time and waste money? I know for me, generally speaking, again, in this particular situation, it wasn't an option for reasons I don't want to, that aren't really relevant to the video. But if I had the option to use Pro, I would have used it on this web page because, again, I know it saves me time and money. So that's one thing that can happen, right? That's one benefit of Pro, is saving time and money. Another benefit, take a look over here. Now, again, you probably know a lot of the features, right, of Elementor Pro. You get pretty much full site control. You can design your header and footer the way you want, your blog pages you want the way you want. You get the pop-up builder. Those are some great features. Well, if you look here, this is my main website, edherzog.com. This is, I do absolutely have Pro on this website because for me, my main website, Pro is essential. There's just no question at all about it. I've got Thrive Leads. Now, if you're familiar with Thrive Leads is amazing. It does everything that the pop-up builder does. So in theory, I don't need that pop-up builder on this website. I already got a great tool, right? But I don't know what the problem is, but something on Thrive Leads always breaks for me. And I don't, I get unlimited lifetime updates on Thrive Leads, but not lifetime support. So what do I do about that, right? I've got this other tool that replaces something that's in Elementor Pro, but in some ways it's not, I can't use it. I can pay Thrive for their support. I think they charge about $50 for a year's worth of support, but why not use that money to buy a license of Elementor Pro, right? I mean, that doesn't really make sense. So that's the thing, when you're relying on outside tools, they break, right? Who do you go for help? Particularly if it's a free plugin, who's going to help you? Is that author really going to help you? How much time and effort and energy are they going to put into helping you if something breaks? Sometimes things aren't compatible, right? Again, I don't know what the issue is here with Thrive Leads. If it's I have no clue. Maybe it's just whatever, there's some problem that's not compatible with Elementor. But, what happens when a plugin that, maybe it's compatible right now, but then some changes are made and all of a sudden it's not compatible. And then, particularly again, if it's a free plugin, what happens when the author decides no longer to update that plugin? What do you do? Isn't it better to have everything integrated into one system, knowing that it's all going to work? Here, I'm talking about eliminating worry, eliminating any sort of problems. Again, so the question you've got to ask yourself here is, do I want to eliminate worry? Do I want to eliminate any sort of aggravation? Do I want to, stop worrying about whether things are going to break on my website? Or do you prefer the other way, right? Do you prefer to have a lot of worry? Because if, again, this is my main website here, I want to eliminate as much worry as I can. I don't want any aggravation with my website. It's not to say things can't go wrong with Elementor. It's not perfect. But because all this stuff, all these features here, again, are fully integrated into Elementor, I have a lot less worry. I know things are generally almost always going to work. But if I'm kind of tying together all these different features using 5 or 6 other plugins, all of a sudden, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if those plugins are going to keep getting updated. I don't know if they're going to keep working properly with Elementor. I don't know when they're going to break. And so, I prefer to eliminate headaches. So again, for me, is a great reason to upgrade to Elementor Pro is you don't have to worry. It just works and it gives you all these features and you know that the features are going to work together. So another thing, again, talking about support. You get support when you upgrade to Elementor Pro. Now, if you look in the official Facebook group for Elementor, you will see people saying that the support isn't the greatest. It's slow, for example. And I agree. I mean, I've only used it twice in the more than 2 years I've had the Pro license. But I have it. Again, it's something that I can rely on when I need it. If you go to the official Facebook group, there are a lot of really helpful people, and they will help you with your problems to the extent they can. But what happens when there's a problem that they can't help you with? If you don't have the Pro license, what do? Right? You have no support all of a sudden. You've got to somehow figure this out on your own. If you're not a WordPress expert, which a lot of us aren't, we may know how to set things up, but when it comes into the nitty-gritty details, we're lost. Who do you ask? Who do you get help from? Again, I've used support twice, and they have been helpful. They've solved my problem for me. But if you're relying on that free version, What happens when something goes wrong, something doesn't work for you? You've got nobody to get help from. You know, you can pay another person for that, right? You can pay somebody else for the help. You can hope somebody will give you free help in the Elementor Facebook group, or you can just upgrade to Pro and know that you've got that help, got that backup. So again, that's another thing that you've really got to ask yourself. Do I want support, or do I want to go, wing it and go it alone and just hope for the best? I know for myself, I want that support. I want to know, have that security of knowing that there are trained professionals, experts in Elementor, who are going to be there to help me when I need it. So for me, really the question isn't so much, is Elementor worth it? I think that's clearly worth it. The question for me is, why haven't you upgraded to it yet? Why haven't you eliminated your worry? Why haven't you, stopped wasting time? Why haven't you decided, hey, I want some help, I want some backup here? For me, it's absolutely worth the minimal investment. I mean, really, again, if you look at the pricing page, and again, they've got their birthday sale going on right now. So, it's depending on whether right now they've got the sale going on, it's either $49 or $36 for a single site. If you're somebody who has multiple sites, you're talking $74 to $99. Of course, if you're a professional web developer, I hope you've upgraded already, right? Because you get up to 1,000 sites for, less than $200. I mean, it's a no-brainer again. But again, I just see this as it's such an amazing system. It's an amazing company, and I know they're going to be around. Again, when it comes to other plugins, other systems, I don't know if they're going to be around a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now. I'm confident Elementor will be around. I'm investing in the future of my business by buying Elementor Pro, because I know I can rely on them. They have pushed the envelope in terms of what you can do with WordPress. And so, I believe in them. And so that for me, again, I see it as a no-brainer. So these are the things, again, to think about. Do you want to make your life easier? Do you want to stop worrying about what might go wrong with your website? Do you want backup and support? So that's it. I hope this video has helped you, kind of see the idea of whether or not to upgrade for Pro in a different light, rather than just looking at the features, which again, features are amazing, but you got to look at the benefits behind those features. If you've got questions or comments, I appreciate you putting them in the, below the YouTube video. So appreciate it if you subscribe, and then, hit that little notification button, because that way you'll get notified when I upload a new video. And I am going to put my affiliate link in the description. I appreciate, that helps me continue to make more videos. Again, if this video has helped you decide whether or not Elementor Pro is for you, I definitely appreciate you buying through my affiliate link. That, again, that supports me, helps keep me in business, and helps me continue to make more videos. So thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great day.